relied on a single strategy to keep its forces alive and to slowly exhaust Ukraine and its Western allies. The plan was simple but brutal. Instead of using expensive missiles, Russia unleashed endless waves of cheap kamikaze drones, the Iranian-designed Shahed drones. Night after night, these buzzing weapons filled the skies above Ukrainian cities. Their purpose wasn't just destruction. Their real mission was to drain Ukraine's air defenses and force the West to spend millions of dollars shooting down drones that cost only a fraction of that price. It was the backbone of Russia's asymmetric warfare strategy. But everything changed in a single night. Ukrainian forces launched a devastating strike that wiped out what many analysts now call one of Russia's most important drone hubs. Instead of chasing drones in the sky one by one, Ukraine decided to destroy the nest where they were born. The target was a massive drone base located at Donetsk International Airport, a facility believed to be Russia's largest operational assembly and launch center for Shahed drones. For months, this base had acted like a factory of terror, sending swarms of drones toward Ukrainian cities every single night. Inside enormous reinforced concrete hangars, Russian engineers assembled the drones far from the eyes of satellites. These hangars were designed to protect the drones from surveillance and keep them safe until launch. But on that morning, the facility was packed. Intelligence reports suggested that hundreds of drones were stored inside the hangars, already fueled and equipped with explosive warheads. Thousands of liters of aviation fuel and tons of explosives sat inside the structure, essentially turning the entire building into a gigantic powder keg. And protecting this deadly warehouse was what Russia believed to be an impenetrable shield. The base was guarded by advanced S-400 air defense systems and Pantsir missile batteries. On paper, nothing should have been able to penetrate this defense network. But Ukraine had been studying those defenses for months. Using reconnaissance drones and careful intelligence analysis, Ukrainian planners searched for weaknesses in the radar coverage. They were not looking for a simple strike. They were preparing a perfectly synchronized operation. The first stage of the attack began with the launch of ATACMS ballistic missile from HIMARS launch systems. These missiles traveled at incredible speeds, descending from high altitude toward their targets. But their mission was not to destroy the drone hangars. Their job was to blind the defenses. As the ballistic missiles streaked toward the base, Russian radar systems immediately locked onto them, forcing the air defense network to focus entirely on the incoming ballistic threat. For a brief moment, the system was overwhelmed. And that was the exact moment Ukraine had been waiting for. While the Russian radars were distracted, another weapon was already closing in. Low-flying cruise missiles, launched earlier from Ukrainian aircraft, were gliding toward the base almost undetected. These were Storm Shadow and Scalp missiles, precision weapons designed to fly extremely low to avoid radar detection. By the time the defenses realized what was happening, it was already too late. One of the missiles struck the reinforced concrete roof of the hangar. Its specialized penetrating warhead smashed through the thick structure and detonated deep inside the building. And that's when the real explosion happened. The missile itself was only the trigger. Inside the hangar, hundreds of armed drones, explosives, and thousands of liters of fuel ignited at once. The result was a massive secondary explosion. The blast was so powerful that witnesses reported feeling the shockwave kilometers away. The entire structure was instantly destroyed, leaving behind a huge burning crater where the drone base once stood. Hundreds of drones were annihilated before they could even take flight. But it wasn't only equipment that was lost. Engineers, drone operators, technicians, and foreign advisors working at the base were reportedly caught in the blast. Replacing hardware is expensive. Replacing skilled specialists takes months. This single strike instantly crippled one of Russia's key drone operations. And the consequences could stretch far beyond the battlefield. Without this base, Russia may struggle to maintain the same scale of drone attacks against Ukrainian cities. For Ukrainian civilians, it could mean fewer nights spent under the constant threat of incoming drones. But the political shockwaves may be even bigger. Inside Russia's military command structure, moments like this often trigger intense internal conflict. Russia's rigid hierarchy leaves little room for failure. When something goes wrong, someone must take the blame. Now attention is turning toward the commanders responsible for the air defense systems that failed to protect the base. At the same time, questions are being asked about the generals who approved the construction of such a critical facility so close to the front line. Russian military bloggers have already begun criticizing the leadership, calling the command structure incompetent and corrupt. In the past, similar military failures have led to major purges within Russia's military leadership. History suggests the Kremlin may soon start searching for scapegoats. But this creates another problem. Russia is already facing a serious shortage of experienced military personnel. Removing commanders without having qualified replacements could weaken the entire system even further. And the damage may not stop there. For years, Russia has marketed its S-400 air defense system as one of the most powerful defensive technologies in the world. Countries around the globe purchased these systems, believing they could protect against nearly any aerial threat. But this attack may have shattered that reputation. If Western missiles can penetrate these defenses so easily, potential buyers may begin to question their effectiveness. Russia's allies are also watching closely. Iran, North Korea, and China are all closely monitoring the performance of Russian military technology in this war. The destruction of a major drone base protected by advanced Russian defenses sends a powerful signal. It suggests that even heavily protected Russian military sites may no longer be safe. For Ukraine, the message is clear. Modern precision weapons are changing the rules of warfare. Instead of fighting endless waves of drones in the sky, Ukraine has shown it can strike directly at the source. And if this strategy continues, Russia's drone campaign could face serious disruption in the months ahead. One thing is certain. The explosion at Donetsk airport was not just another battlefield strike. It was a demonstration of how modern warfare is evolving and how a single precise operation can change the balance of power. Now the question is simple. How will the Kremlin respond to this humiliation? And more importantly, will Russia be able to rebuild what it just lost? The Russian army